What's up everyone? Coach David here, Mr. Defiance Training. We are in the classroom, ready to chalk it up. I'm going to be showing to you all and explaining what my current training split is, what I do, why I do it, when I do it. Okay, first off, how many days? I am currently on a 5-day split, and those days are split up between pull, push, legs, upper body. I'm just gonna put upper for that one, and then lower body. Alright, so those are the 5 days, and if you can't read that, don't worry, I'll zoom in on the camera sooner or later. So these are the 5 days. The reason why, oh, I put upper with no R. Bro, do you even English? Obviously not. So the reason why I do this current split is before I used to train everything once a week. So I used to do, for example, push pull legs, or legs, chest, back, shoulders, arms, something like that. But as I'm looking into more research, in college, learning more about working out, what science has proven, different articles, I definitely need to increase the frequency. So now I'm trying to hit at least everything twice a week. So pull, obviously that's back and biceps. Push, chest, shoulders, triceps. Legs are legs, obviously everything from the waist down. Upper body is a combination of these push and pull muscles, and then lower again is hitting the legs. So you see everything's getting hit twice. At least the major muscle groups are. For example, on the second upper day body, when we do it, I don't really target delts that much compared to what I would do on regular push. But anyways, let's get it started. On each of these days, I always start with my main compound movement, my main multi-joint movement. For pulls, it will always be a deadlift. So I'll put DL for deadlift. For push, it's always going to be a bench press. Legs, squat. For upper, it's going to be an incline bench press. I'm just gonna put incline bench. And then for lower on that day, it is going to be a front squat. Okay, so those are my main compound movements. Afterwards, I start hitting the individual muscle groups for each one. So for my deadlift, the reason why I put deadlift on back day, even though it is a leg exercise, is because on legs, I want all my priority to be focused on the squats. If I put squats and deadlifts together, one of them is going to be affected. It's just too taxing to do it for me both same day. I like to go heavier on those. So deadlift, I just found it works a little bit better for me on pull. Plus, I get a really good pump on my erector spinae. So that's the back muscle. Just over the years, I found that works better for me. So afterwards, then I hit other movements that hit the same muscle groups that are being worked already. So for pull day, after I do my deadlift, I do 3 exercises for my back. Okay, I usually do 2 for the lats and 1 for the traps. I don't have to worry about the erector spinae anymore. That already got covered with the deadlift. So my 2 for back, I always do some type of horizontal pull and some type of vertical pull. All right, I want to hit all the primal movement patterns. So for example, horizontal pull, I'll do some type of bent over row. And then I'll hit some type of pull down. I'm just going to put pull down. I'm not going to be too specific. And now for the third exercise, that's going to be now for traps. Some people train traps on shoulder when they train their delts. But I like to do it on my back, because remember, your traps don't just start right here. They go all the way down the middle of your back. It's what allows you to go this way. So I'll do some type of shrug variation, or I'll do some type of rowing movement where your elbows flare out. So I'll just go ahead and put shrug. So you see right here, I finished all those, just 3 exercises directly for my back, covering my lats and my traps, and then the deadlift, my main multi-joint movement, working my erector spinae. And then last thing for pull, just biceps. Just 1 exercise for biceps, and it will be some variation of curls, whether it be with a dumbbell barbell, alternating, both at the same time, preacher, whatever it may be. It's just some type of curl. For push, bench press, main muscle I like to think of bench press is the chest. So I'll do one more chest exercise, and it will usually be some type of variation of a fly or anything where you're opening up. So it could be a cable crossover, it could be a chest fly, whatever it may be. I'll just put flies. Alright, but my personal favorite is gonna be cable crossover. Okay, and it could even be some type of dip. After this, that's all I do for chest. Now we're gonna be moving on to delts. Now for delts, same protocol. I want to start off with my main multi-joint movement and then go into my assistance work. So for my main multi-joint movement, I'm gonna go into some type of overhead press. It could be barbell press, dumbbell press, single arm dumbbell press, a clean and press, push press, I don't care. Do whatever you want, it's just something overhead. Afterwards, since I'm already covering the front delt, I don't want my assistance exercise to be something like that. And at the same time, I don't want something for the rear delt, because the rear delt I actually cover and do a lot of work on when I warm up. Each one of these days I warm up my rotator cuff, my shoulders, and I make sure to do an exercise for my rear delt, because I know I'm not going to hit it directly in the actual workout itself. So I'm going to go ahead and target the side delt. So it'll be some type of lateral. Oh, can't even spell laterals. Hold up, that looks ugly. Gotta make sure it's legible for all of you. So I'll do some type of laterals, whether it be with dumbbells or cables, just something single arm, both arms, leaning up against something and then doing one arm again with the cable behind my back, whatever. It's just something going to the side. That's gonna target my side laterals. And then afterwards, just one more exercise, and it's just for tricep. So for tricep, I'll just do some type of elbow extension. We'll just call it that, because it could either be a cable push down, you see I'm going to elbow extension, or some type of dumbbell or barbell overhead raise, some type of skull crusher, just something where my elbow is extending. So I'll just put elbow extension. Okay, you don't want to do too much tricep, because if you're already working your bench press and your overhead press, both of those already utilize your triceps, so you're already taxing them. Let's go, just do one more. You don't have to overkill it. Legs, squat. Squat, I like to emphasize for my quads. So if I were to follow the same format, do a second exercise for my legs, I will either do some type of lunge or some type of leg extension. So for this one, I'll go ahead and just put leg extension. Okay, so remember, lunge or leg extension, that's what I have to do. Now afterwards, we're done with quads. I'm gonna move on to my hamstrings. Again, focusing on that main multi-joint movement first. I'll do some type of variation of an RDL. Okay, whether it be dumbbells, barbells, single leg, both at the same time. I do my RDLs, but I try to keep my knee pretty straight. The straighter your knee, the more hamstring dominant. The more knee bent on the way down, the more glute dominant. After that, another assistance exercise for hamstring, some type of leg curl. Whether it be standing up, sitting down, single leg or both legs, just some type of leg curl, and then I finish off with calf raises. Doesn't matter if I'm doing seated or standing, either way, one is gonna be done on leg day, the other variation is gonna be done on lower body day. So either way, it's gonna be covered. So I'll just put calf raise. I'll put standing calf raises, just to make the explanation later on a little bit easier. Now we're moving on to upper body. So I think I could bring the camera a little bit more. Now you can start to see it. Oh, hold up. Right there. For upper body, like I said, I started off on incline, because if you notice on regular push day, I didn't do anything to emphasize my upper chest. Now that's a lot of a misconception everyone gets. When you do bench press, you do work on your upper chest. It's just not the main priority. Same way you do when you do incline bench, you're working your whole chest. It's just putting a greater emphasis or greater bias on the upper chest. But the whole thing is being developed. Just a matter of which one's getting pushed a little harder. So I didn't cover upper chest on this day directly, but now for sure I want to emphasize that. And then afterwards, I always do dumbbell bench press. This way each arm moves on its own. It will really expose if you got the weaker arm or the weaker arm or the stronger arm. I'm really big on unilateral work, Gotta make sure both sides are even. That's why for the leg day, I said I also do lunges because it's one leg at a time. Okay, so that was it for chest. And then for back, I will always do some type of row. Again, the row, I'm gonna leave it to all of you to fill in as you please. Just one exercise for that. Afterwards, I will start hitting the little muscles that you wouldn't normally hit on these days. So for example, serratus anterior, the small rotator cuff muscles, your neck, your forearms, the little things. Okay? Because I already covered my main movements. With these pressing movements, I already covered my chest and my triceps. So that already knocks out almost all of this. Like I said, I'm not emphasizing too much on the delts on this day. Whatever. Row, got my back and my biceps. So I covered all this, that's right here. So that's already my twice a week for that. Now we gotta focus on those little things. So I will end up doing something for serratus anterior. Serratus anterior. For those of you who don't know what they are, look at where your obliques are. There's a little finger looking muscles right here on the side. It's a little bit higher. Right, usually associated more with the chest. Just look it up, you'll find plenty of exercises. What I like to do are serratus push-ups, where you're pinching your shoulder blades back on the floor, or you're in the push position, pinch shoulders back, and then try to push yourself up, and it's like you're rounding your shoulders forward, going back and forward. And then you will, or at least I feel here, either that or some type of pullovers when you're on the bench. Afterwards, I will do neck raises, or it's just some type of neck extension and flexion. So you could use the neck harness, put a plate and a towel on your head, pull it forward. So I'll just put neck flexion and extension. It's technically called cervical flexion and extension because cervical head, but it's easier if people just think of it as neck. Neck flexion is bringing it this way, extension is pulling it back. And then after that, I'll go into my forearms. So I'll do some type of wrist curl and wrist extension, like that. Alright, so wrist curl and wrist extensions. You see, I want to make sure I hit those little muscles, man. They make all the difference. Now, moving on to lower. I got my front squats out the way. Boom, I covered quads. Now I want to emphasize the muscles I didn't really hit previously. The little parts of the calf, my glutes. Even though glutes did get hit right here on legs, I want to emphasize it a little bit more. So afterwards, I'll do hip thrust. And then I'll do RDLs again, or not RDLs. I'll do leg curls for now, targeting my hamstrings. But when I do leg curls, I also want to hit some of the muscles that I didn't hit twice yet. So for example, the erector spinae. Yeah, maybe a little bit on the squat, but I really want to emphasize that lumbar flexion. I really want to get that rounding motion so I can get a full range of motion. So I'll go ahead and do something like a reverse hyper. Reverse hyper, for those of you who don't know, just think of it as a reverse leg raise, where your stomach down the platform, your legs are swinging up behind you. I get a massive pump, not only in my glutes, but right here, right in that sweet spot, because there are muscles there in your lower back. A lot of times, many of my clients say, my lower back hurts. I'm like, all right, is it muscular pain or is it spinal pain? And then it'll be an exercise specifically for that area. It's like, I don't know, how can you tell the difference? If it burns your lower back the same way it will burn your biceps if we're doing curls, it's muscular pain. That's the muscle we're actually working. So correct, you should be feeling there. Don't freak out. If it's like a sharp pinching pain, that's your spine. That's when you should be worried. So I got that down. Now the little muscles in the calves. So I'll do some type of tib raises or anything for your tibialis anterior. That's just the muscle in front of your shin. It's what helps you lift your toe up when you run. And then I'll hit something for my soleus. So that's the bottom part of your calf. Oof, not quite as agile as I used to be. So your gastrocnemius is this part right here. The big ball that you will normally associate with your calf. But underneath that right here, that's your soleus. Also part of your calf, gotta work it. So for soleus, I will hit seated calf raises. That's why I emphasize on leg day, either standing or seated, but whichever one you do, you're going to be doing the other on the second leg day. So either way, both are getting worked. So if I did standing on this day, I'm doing seated here. If I did seated here, which is working solely, then I'll do standing here to work the gastro. And then afterwards, what do you mean afterwards? That's it. So that's going to be my 5-day split and all the exercises I do. The rep count for the main compound movements, usually I would do, it varies right now because I'm more of on a power building program, so I'm not really focusing completely on bodybuilding, hypertrophy. I'm not completely invested in strength. I want a little bit of both, a little bit well-rounded. So for the main compound movements, I do roughly, I'll go anywhere from 3 to 6 repetitions. On the sets, I do a lot of pyramid sets, so it'll be 3 sets pyramiding up and 2 back down, so 5 sets total. But you can change it as you want. For all the other exercises after that, that's when I'm more leaning towards the hypertrophy. Since I already got my strength movements out the way, that's when I'll usually hit 3 to 4 sets of roughly 8 to 10 reps each. I don't really go too much into the high reps, like 12, unless I'm hitting something like abs. Speaking of abs I throw out sporadically through here, maybe 2-3 times a week. Currently what I found is working good for me is doing it every other day. So I'll do Monday, Wednesday, Friday abs, or I'll do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Just find what you want, just don't neglect the abs and obliques, or I should just say core in general. It's not just abs. You have muscles right here on the side, you got muscles back here. You gotta work the whole thing. So core, I will work directly 2 or 3 times a week, sprinkle it throughout. Just I try not to make it back-to-back days, so at least it gives it some time to rest. Okay, so there you have it. That's the rep scheme I have for everything. That's my workout program. This is just what I found has been working for me recently. Honestly, I've been on this for roughly 2 months and I'm liking it. I'm definitely liking it. At first I was a little bit sore because, you know, doing one muscle group and then having to hit it again throughout the week is like, what I gotta do it, I'm not even fully recovered. But now my body adapted. I feel really good about it. So go ahead, give it a try, take some things out, add some things in. It's just a template if you want to try it. Adjust the rep scheme if you want. This is just what I have been doing. I just want to share you what's been working for me as of late. With that being said, if you haven't already, please follow me on Instagram. Link will be down in the description below. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you all next time.